Hey everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Ian, I am Ian the Reader, and today I'm doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. This is a pretty big deal for me because I have been watching Booktube for like 8 years or something like that. Somewhere around like 2013 I think is when I started watching Booktube. And so I've seen the Booktube Newbie Tag be done tons of times by so many wonderful content creators, but I never in a million years thought that I would be doing one of these videos. And so I'm so excited to just share a little bit of stuff about myself, about what I like to read, and just to do this video. It's a pretty big moment for me. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the Booktube Newbie Tag. Question number one is, why did you start this channel? And the real question is, why not, you know? I've been watching Booktube for so long. I think like back in 2013, 2014, I watched like the classics like Jesse the Reader, Ariel Bissett, Kat, and just people like that, and I loved it so much because it was the first time I'd really felt like I was part of a community of readers, you know? Because I had just graduated high school, or maybe I was like in my senior year, and I knew some people who liked to read. Like I was a library TA and everything, I was obsessed. But I'd never felt like part of a community of readers. And so when I discovered Booktube, I was just blown away by like this sense of belonging, I guess, just because everybody was talking about all these books that I loved, and I felt like for once I could share that passion I had with other people just by commenting and watching. You know, I felt a part of that. But in recent years, I've been running a Bookstagram, and it's been a lot of fun. I've met so many wonderful people doing it, but to be honest with you, I'm super lazy and I don't like writing out really long reviews just because it takes time. And so I thought, why not just start making some videos? That way I don't have to type everything out. I can just have a little bit more of like stream of consciousness and get all my thoughts out there in video form. I couldn't help myself. I was so excited to finally just go for it and make videos, and I'm having a great time, I really am. Question number two is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Besides my sparkling personality and charisma, pretty much nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, I feel like I have a pretty diverse, like, reading palette, I guess. I like a lot of fantasy for sure. I read a lot of fantasy, but I really love like literary fiction. Like if I was to talk about like my 5 like top books of all time, it'd be, you know, like some classics, but then also just like some literary fiction from the past like 10-15 years that I love. And I also love mystery thrillers. I love science fiction. I love contemporary. I read some YA, not a ton. But I feel like I just read a lot of different types of stuff, so hopefully I can make videos that appeal to a lot of different people. But then on top of that, I want to make fun videos. Like, I'm really excited about doing some reading vlogs. I'm really excited about doing some different challenges. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm just really excited. I hope that I can entertain you a little bit while you watch my videos, so that's the goal. Question number 3 is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? That's just to meet people. I think that is one of my favorite things about like Bookstagram, is like the community aspect where like you can get excited about books and other people are excited about the same books, and it's just like kind of such a fun group thing, sharing that experience. I love doing like group reads. I love doing like book discussion chats and just, you know, enjoying books together. I think that's the most amazing thing in the world. And so like with Booktube, I'm really excited to just take that to another level where I can really engage with people a lot. Hopefully I can meet some other creators and we can just all have a good time. And yeah, it's just the people, like that's what makes this, because otherwise like reading a book on its own is beautiful, but sharing that experience with somebody else, that brings it to a whole nother level. It's amazing. Question number 4 is, why do you love reading? I have been reading like my whole life. Really, like when I was growing up, my dad read to me and my brothers so much, and that really sparked it for me, and I've just always loved stories. I remember when I was a kid, like I had a little like notebook that I would write down different story ideas of books that I wanted to write, and it was like probably like 20 to 30 different like stories that I was convinced I was gonna write. And then I remember I wrote like a knockoff like Sherlock Holmes story one time and things like that, and I've just always loved storytelling, and I've loved just kind of the sense you can get of being in someone else's shoes, and also just the experience of it, because reading is like the most immersive experience in so many ways, because you can watch a movie or a TV show or look at a picture or something, but that's presented to you in a way that is full on interpretation. You know, like you look at it and that's a picture. Like the picture doesn't look any different dependent upon who's looking at it, though it can be interpreted in different ways. But with reading, you know, you create the images in your brain. Like the words are on the paper, but you see it the way you want to see it. And I think that that is such an immersive thing, and it's like my favorite stress reliever too. Like I love reading and I love talking about books, and it's just something that I get so excited and passionate about. So reading is my jam, man. It really is. Question number 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? So if I was to think about like my favorite book on its own when I was growing up, I would probably say Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls, or Redwall by Brian Jacques or however you say his name. But I think the book series that really got me into reading on like another level was a series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, for sure. I read those with my aunt when I was growing up, and they were just so different than anything I'd ever read before. Like I'd read little books here and there that like I enjoyed, but when I read a series of Unfortunate Events, it was like my first obsession. Like I was so excited about every book release. I think I probably became a fan of those books around the release of like book 9 or 10, and so I was a fan for the release of like book 11, 12, and then the last book, and oh my gosh, I was just obsessed with those books. I still am. Like I'm so excited to reread them, hopefully soon in the near future. They're just next level. So those are the books that really got me into reading. Question number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? How do you do it, man? How do you do it? That's what I would ask. No, I don't know. I guess why? Why do you have to have such good taste in books and get so excited about them? Because I need to stop buying books. I think my wife is angry at me because of how many books I bring home, but I can't help myself because I just watch, booktubers get so excited about these books. I'm like, well, crap, I have to add those to my TBR. And that's a lot of money, man. It really is. Question number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So for me, it would definitely be time management because I'm a busy guy. Right now I'm on paternity leave. My wife and I just welcomed our second child into our family. She's beautiful, she's amazing. But I've had like extra time on my hands because I'm home, I'm not working. And so I go back to work in about 2 weeks, and I'm really gonna have to time manage because I work a lot of hours. I'm a store manager with Starbucks, and it's just a very, very time commitment heavy job. I'm there all the time. And so with that, and then with having 2 kids, one of those being a newborn, the other being a toddler, and trying to be a husband, and also just I'm supposed to be continuing my education in the spring, going into a master's program, and so there's a lot of things that have a claim on my time. But that being said, I'm really excited about making YouTube videos, and I'm really excited about reading, and so I feel like I'm going to be able to manage it pretty well. My goal is to make 2 videos a week, one on Tuesdays, one on Fridays, and that is my plan. So I think I should be able to manage it pretty well, but we're gonna see how that goes in the coming months. Question number 8 is, when did you start reading? I don't know. How do I know? I don't know. 3? 4? Something like that. I don't know. I've been reading all my life. Who knows? I've always been a nerd, man. I've always loved reading. But I guess like when I really started reading seriously would be, I think, 2015. So before that, I would read like 20 to 30 books a year, just like casually because I love to read. But back in 2015, when I was like really into Booktube, I wanted to do like a reading challenge, and my dad wanted to do it with me because he's a reader too. And so we challenged each other to read 52 books in 1 year. So our goal was just to read 1 book a week. We both did it that first year, and then after that, our book club, as we call it, has just grown and grown and grown. And so it started out with just me and my dad back in 2015, and now, like 6 years later, it's me and my wife, my dad and his wife, my aunt, both of my brothers and their significant others, and we just have a great time with it. We meet like quarterly to talk about our favorite books. We do quarterly book reads together, and it is like such a fun thing for us to do as a family. So I love that it's really grown into that over the years. Question number 9 is, where do you read? So I guess like where I read most is probably in bed. I read a lot of like ebooks because of the fact that I'm busy with my kids all day, and then I get in bed and I just want to relax, and so my wife falls asleep before I do, and I stay up a few hours like reading, typically on my phone. But I listen to audiobooks everywhere. I listen to audiobooks when I'm driving, when I'm like cleaning, when I'm helping my wife with stuff, when I'm grocery shopping, all the time I'm listening to audiobooks. Even at work, like I find time to listen to audiobooks. And so that's like another place that I read a lot. But you know, I just kind of try to read whenever I can, wherever I can, as much as I can. I always have an ebook going, and a lot of times a physical book and an audiobook as well. I typically read like 2 to 4 books at the same time. I never am just focusing on one, so I really read wherever. Question number 10 is, what kind of books do you like to read? All kinds, man. I am an equal opportunity reader. I'll read it. If it's good, I'll read it. Like, I don't really care what genre it is. I guess like the genres I read the least of, I actually don't read like a lot of like contemporary romance. I've read a couple. I read Beach Read by Emily Henry this year, and I liked it. And I've read like The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I like that too, but I haven't read a ton. Other than that, I don't read as much sci-fi as I would like to. I read more fantasy for sure, but I'd like to read more sci-fi. I'll read it. As long as it's good, I'll read it. I don't care what it is, what kind of book it is, how long it is, how short it is, what genre it is. I'll read it. I love middle grade. I love YA sometimes if it's good. It has to be good YA, top-notch YA. Otherwise, I'm good. Yeah, I'll read it. I don't care. Question number 11 is, what does your book collection look like? I don't like that there are only 11 questions. Can I just say that? Like, it bothers me. It should be like an even number, like 12 or 10. You were one off. One of these questions surely could have been cut. But anyway, so my book collection is a mess. I'll go ahead and put a short video, I guess, of me looking at my book collection, but guys, it's not good. My house is not super big, and so I only have room for 2 bookshelves in my bedroom, and I keep buying books, and so it's a real problem. But I'm not proud of it. I'm proud of my books, don't get me wrong. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. They're beautiful, but I am a mess. So yeah, here's that. I had to stack things weird to fit more. It's bad. It's not good. I'm not proud. And I'm not going to show you the other shelf because honestly, it's worse somehow. And that's it. That's all the questions, all 11. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a really great time making it. I have so much exciting content coming your way this month and in the coming months. I think this is such a great time to be on Booktube. There's so many great creators. There's so many good books coming out as well. I feel like there's so much. And I mean, that's the eternal problem of a reader, is that there's so much to read and not enough time. But it's such a beautiful problem, isn't it? I think so. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!